Hello, welcome back to Lightstand Entertainment. Deviant D here. How you doing? Here we are, nearly at the end of February of 2017, and I finally compiled my favorite films of 2016. It only took me 2 months after the year ended. Not bad, right? It took me a while because honestly, like many people, many film fans, we have to catch up. I mean, there's just so much shit out there. It's impossible to view it all like in any small time frame. I mean, you got to space it out. So anyway, we're gonna just jump into it. I'm gonna break this up into two parts. So we're gonna do numbers 10 through 6 in this video. Another video, I'll do the top 5. Since some of these films I've done reviews for already, I'm not going to talk too much about the films. After you watch the video, if you're curious, I'm going to leave in the information section all the links to the trailers. If you haven't heard about some of the movies I'm talking about, you can go down and watch the trailer after you watch this video, of course. But yeah, going to do the top 10 of 2016. For those of you who haven't watched many of my videos or don't know me, you're going to see I'm really into genre filmmaking, and I'll just leave it like that. But some of my friends were surprised to find out that only one comic book movie was on my top 10 of last year. Only one. So, with that, I'm going to just start off real quick and give some honorable mentions, because everybody that does a top 10 list has to list off just a handful of movies that were pretty dope, but weren't dope enough, apparently. One of the other films, here are the honorable mentions. I'll just list them off. One of them was Don't Breathe. I did a video about that from the cool cats that made the Evil Dead remake. It was the the story about the criminals going in to break into the old dude's house. Really cool thriller. Very much worth checking out. Another comic book movie that didn't quite make the top 10, but I dug it, was the third Captain America movie. Came out in May 16, Captain America Civil War. Huge hit, and honestly, you know, for summer blockbusters, 2016 was a weak year, and I have to say it, like, Captain America Civil War was probably the best of the bunch. Honestly, it was a fun movie, and I'll never forget being on the phone with my parents after they went and saw it, after I told them they should go see it. My dad saying to me that Tony Stark, he's kind of an asshole, isn't he? And all I responded to was, yes, Dad, yes, he is. But anyway, movie kicked ass. New Star Trek movie, Beyond, honestly, pretty cool flick. I honestly think I'm going to watch that flick more than the previous two films in the Kelvin/JJ verse. It was just a lot of fun. And in that vein, with science fiction fanboy franchises, Rogue One, it was a committee affair, but it turned out pretty good. I like that too. And the last honorable mention I want to just throw a shout out for is The Shallows. Like, this was kind of like a sleeper hit of the summer, and it's a killer shark movie, and I love killer shark movies. Unfortunately, there's not very many good ones, and this one fit the bill for me, so The Shallows is worth checking out. Anyway, let's go to the top 10. Like I said, I'm not going to get too much in depth in story. I'm going to just list off the films, you know, talk a little bit about them. In fact, for the first 5 here, I actually have the disc, so I'm going to just read the bio on the back. And with that, number 10. Number 10, Swiss Army Man, starring Paul Dano and Daniel Radcliffe. This was the first film by these two dudes that just billed themselves as Daniels, and this is their first film. I can't wait to see more. This movie is very odd. It's probably, quote-unquote, the most bizarre movie on my top 10, but I love the hell out of it. For those of you who don't know, Paul Dano plays Hank, and he is stranded on a deserted island, having given up all hope of ever making it home again. But one day, everything changes when a corpse named Manny, played by Harry Potter himself, washes up on shore. The two become fast friends and ultimately go on an epic adventure that will bring Hank back to the woman of his dreams. Sounds very bizarre? Well, guess what it is? It is bugfuck nuts. But the thing I love about it is, even though the idea, the story is so bizarre, the movie works. It's such a well-written script. It all comes together great at the end. There's one scene particularly that in the middle of the movie, for those of you who have seen it, the school bus scene, you'll know what I'm talking about. Magnificent. Can't wait to see more from these guys. It's awesome. Number 9, Midnight Special. Boom. This is the latest film from Jeff Nichols. I love this guy. One of the main reasons I love this guy is he loves the actor Michael Shannon, who I think is just an amazing actor. This film, what this film's about is Roy's young son, Alton, has mysterious powers coveted by religious extremists. On the run, the two escape in the night, and as the chase escalates into a national-wide manhunt involving the highest levels of government, Roy will risk everything to help his son find his ultimate purpose, whatever that may be. When this movie came out, a lot of people compared it to early works of Steven Spielberg, and I couldn't agree more. This is Jeff Nichols, like, in his Close Encounters of the Third Kind, like, gear. That's what he's doing, and he succeeded. I know a lot of people have problems with the ending. I won't spoil the ending. I can see why people have issues with it, but honestly, it didn't bother me at all. I dug the flick. I thought it was really good. Very well done. Joel Edgerton was great in it. Sam Shepard shows up for a bit. He's great. And Adam Driver, who we all love, is really good too. So, number 9, Midnight Special. Very good movie. Number 8. Numero ocho. Hell or High Water. Oscar winner Jeff Bridges, Chris Pine, and Ben Foster lead in this acclaimed action drama. When a desperate father learns the bank is going to take his family's land, he and his ex-con brother are left with no choice. They decide to rob the bank's branches, putting themselves in the crosshairs of an aging Texas Ranger in a riveting story of crime, punishment, and brotherly love. This was written by the same dude who wrote Sicario. Sicario is the shit. And so is this. This guy, I think he's one of the best screenwriters around right now. What's his name? I think he's so great, I can't remember his name. Taylor Sheridan. Taylor Sheridan's watching this. Sorry, I forgot your name, brother. Won't happen again. Hell or High Water, great movie if you love Jeff Bridges. And we all fucking love Jeff Bridges. You need to see this movie. It's really well done, and I don't mean to shit on him. I always liked Chris Pine, but goddamn, he really stole the show in this movie. It's probably his best performance he's ever done. Awesome movie. I always like I'm a fan of westerns in general, and this film feels like an old school western in aspects, and it's just a fun time. Great film. Check it out. Hell or High Water. All right. Number 7. The Neon Demon, NWR's latest film. Now, I've said before that I love horror movies, and I see a lot of horror movies, so one might think I'm pretty desensitized when it comes to shit like that, and in most cases I am. But I'll say this, The Neon Demon disturbed the shit out of me. Blah, 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 blah. This film is a terrifying and erotic vision of the cutthroat high-fashion modeling world. Jessie has moved to Los Angeles to pursue her dreams of glamour and fame, but must contend with the city's dark side, and blah, 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 blah. And honestly, go in more dry with this film and just let it cascade over you. It's a trippy flick, man. I love this dude's work because I either love his films or I can't stand them. There's never been a film by this dude where I'm just like, meh, it was alright. His last film I wasn't the greatest fan of. Only God Forgives. I've only seen it once. People keep telling me, give it another shot. At some point I will, because this guy makes important films and they're worth watching. So, Neon Demon. I'm warning you, it's a fucked up movie, but it's really well done. Very good. Love it. Alright. Number 6. Here we go. It's the one comic book movie of the year that made my list. And I know once I said that earlier that there's one comic book movie on my list, You all know what it is. Motherfucking Deadpool. I'm not even going to read the back. Y'all know what Deadpool's about. I love this movie so much. It was everything that a comic book movie for this character should have been. If it was just like I hate to use the word typical, but it's the first word that's coming to mind. If they tried to take the typical approach with this character, it would not have worked. And I know that the script is like, it follows a lot of origin film, like story beats from previous other movies. I realize that, but you know, origin story movies, they are kind of similar because we do have to, you know, mimic these beats. You know, the sequels, you know, you go wherever you want, but origin movies, yeah, they kind of tend to run in the same vein. That being said, Deadpool played with the form as much as it could within those parameters, and it just kicked ass. I cannot wait for Deadpool 2. I'm really curious who they're going to get for Cable. The last two, you know, I'm sure everybody's heard, it's between Stephen Lang and Ron Perlman. Either choice would be great. I think Stephen Lang personally looks more like the character with the short white hair and the white beard. But since there is not going to be a Hellboy 3 ever, according to Guillermo del Toro, I like my man Ron Perlman to get as much work as possible. So we'll be cool with either one. And I am fucking calling it now. When it comes to Deadpool 3, we are getting a team up between Deadpool and Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. I'm just going to call it now. It's not going to happen for years, probably like 4 or 5 years. I'm calling it now. Anyway, we're going to end the video there with the first part of my top 10 of 2016. Hopefully you agree, and if you haven't seen any of the movies I've talked about, once again, please go to the info section, check out the trailers, see if they're up your alley. Anyway, we'll see you soon for the rest of my list. Deviant D for Lightstand Entertainment. Later.